Now, Sarah Obama, the matriarch of former U.S. President Barack Obama's Kenyan family, has died. Relatives and officials confirmed Monday, but did not disclose the cause of death. She was at least 99 years old. Mama Sarah, as the step-grandmother of the former U.S. president was fondly called, was a philanthropist who promoted education for girls and orphans. She passed away around 4 a.m. local time while being treated at the Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Teaching and Referral Hospital in Kisumu, Kenya's third largest city in the country's west. According to her daughter, Marsat Oyango, Sarah Obama was the second wife of President Obama's grandfather and helped raise his father, Barack Obama Sr. The family is part of Kenya's Luo ethnic group. President Obama often showed affection toward her and referred to her as Granny in his memoir, Dreams from My Father. He described meeting her during his 1988 trip to his father's homeland and the initial awkwardness as they struggled to communicate, which developed into a warm bond. She attended his first inauguration as president in 2009. Later, Obama spoke about his grandmother again in his September 2014 speech to the UN General Assembly. Let's cross live now to the Kenyan capital, Nairobi, where Arise correspondent Mark BICHACHI joins us now. Let's start with the Obamas, Mark. How is the news being received? I hear she's to be buried today. How are the Kenyans responding to the death of this nonagenarian, if I'm right in that terminology?
Well, she was quite loved by a lot of people, both within her village and, of course, internationally for being the grandmother to Barack Obama. So the country is in mourning. A lot of the country has given their condolences and told stories about how kind she was in the village, and those who knew her are speaking quite fondly about her. And of course, as a country, we take death quite seriously, and so there's a lot of feeling and emotion at this moment, as well as speculation as to what might have led to her demise.
And President Uhuru Kenyatta, has he responded?
As at yet, not yet. We expect a statement from the State House, as it is called. I think they're waiting to get information so that the message will be in context. But anytime now, at around 3 p.m. Kenyan time, we expect him to give a statement.
Okay, but I think we're aware that he went on social media and he did leave some sort of a tribute. I know you say Kenyans take death very seriously and are in mourning, but I imagine there's also a sense of celebrating a life well lived. You know, she's a philanthropist who promoted education for girls and orphans. Tell us a bit more about her legacy.
Well, her legacy in the village is a legacy of one who sheltered a lot of people, who helped a lot of young ladies go to school. But more importantly, we know that not only was President Barack Obama a success, but his siblings, as well as many of his cousins, are successful in the scholarly world, successful in the business world. And therefore, she's considered not just a matriarch, but a successful matriarch at that, because one of the challenges of her generation was to ensure that a lot of the people living in that time went to school and they were able to be educated and be successful, which is something that she did not only for her own children, but also for her stepchildren. And also it is important to emphasize that she was Michelle Obama's step-grandmother. She was not the direct grandmother of Barack Obama, and therefore the fact that she was warm and welcoming to him, and also warm and welcoming to the other side of her family, is also something that is being recognized a lot by Kenyans.
All right, let's talk about the COVID-19 update in the country, Mark. What is responsible for this sharp rise we're seeing? We do understand that President Uhuru Kenyatta has declared lockdowns in the capital and 4 other counties. What more can you tell us?
Well, the lockdown is within those 4 counties. There's movement within those counties. There was an extension to allow people who had traveled to come back into the county so that their they are not locked out. There's also the fact that this is affecting the local tourism industry, which had just opened up, and hotels had started getting back their staff. There's a lot of complaints from that perspective, but a lot of Kenyans at the same time are appreciative that the government has taken these measures, because we did see a sharp rise in cases, but not only just in cases, but also in deaths. This strain seems to have come from Tanzania next door, and it is a more severe strain with more severe symptoms. And the ICU beds in those 5 counties were actually filled. So the governor of Machakos had actually tweeted out on Thursday last week saying that all the hospitals were full, the ICU beds were fully occupied, and we are seeing a strain in our healthcare capacity. At the same time, of course, these are the same counties that are contributing 60% of all the COVID cases in the country. So this was expected. A lot of Kenyans are feeling the economic pinch of it, but also there's an understanding that this was necessary given the increase in cases that was caused primarily because at some point last year, Kenyans relaxed, thinking that the worst of COVID was over, but that was not the case.
Yes, and tell us a bit more about your vaccine campaign. I hear Kenya began its campaign on March 5th with the government saying they hoped it would be the beginning of the end of the pandemic. How effective has the rollout been in terms of uptake and even, the projection towards attaining herd immunity?
Well, it's quite interesting that you asked that question. As I said before, Kenyans had taken COVID quite lightly towards the end of last year and early this year. Gatherings had begun to go back to what was almost normal pre-COVID. And that same mentality is what affected the vaccine uptake. The first category of people are supposed to be medics and teachers. And what we saw among that population is a lot of them chose not to take the vaccine. In fact, today I was talking to some of the medical practitioners and they've still not taken the vaccine. So the government was forced to include the next category, which is Kenyans above the age of 58. And a lot of them have gone out to take the vaccine. And I did a trip around the city today, and the queues in the city of Nairobi for people looking to get the vaccine have nearly tripled from what they were last week. So the uptake is increasing, given that people are now seeing that this particular strain of COVID is actually taking lives. So it is a mixed basket in that sense, where now Kenyans are taking it seriously, but also it means that now they've got more people in the queues waiting to get the vaccine.
Right. Thank you so much, BICHACHI from the Kenyan capital, Nairobi, on updates on COVID-19 and as well as the death of the stepmother of former U.S. President Barack Obama. Much appreciated.